Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So today it's June 20th, 2026. So there is a private conference we following directives. We have Procurement ID 26 26, MG 0028, 26, MG 0028. And research will and research and zero. So we are request the engineer to have around this.
Good morning. The attendees for the vivid conference or contract ID number 26FJ0027, 26FJ0028, 26FJ0029, and 26FJ0030. Factor person, Sulaiman J. Madaya.
Listen to
Vice Factor person, Manti S. Margaya. Back member, Lionel Landel. Back PWH member, back secretariat members, Jubik May Kulyamar Porlahe,
Present.
Maria Rona Angelica Jason,
Present.
Janine Marie Elizabeth Ticlore, and yours truly, Albert Castillo of Queenie.
thank you very much. So since you talk members in my daily responsibility to forum, no? So I declare that we have a forum today.
And truly pray for that.
Okay, allowed and the is knowledge. So we should request the vice chair, person, engineer Martin and background. So since the chief of the meeting is to discuss the detail regarding the global conference. This is
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, person. For today's training conference, our agenda first is the brief presentation in regards to the basic contract data, including the contract appraisal, ABC, and contract description. Next is the requirements of individual documents, including the infrastructure, instructions to leaders, general duties of contract, the SEC, or special duties of contract, specifications, drawings, bureaucracies, and reports. Also, the documents to be submitted by the leaders, both their technical and financial results. The criteria and procedure for the eligibility checking, preliminary examination of leads, detailed evaluation of the leads, the requirements for the post qualification, and the issuance of the notice of award. Our second agenda is the questions or the comments from leaders, if any, and the response of the back, other representative of the community. Then next is the other buckets. And lastly is the summary of proceedings, including the supplemental bulletin or the lead bulletins to be issued by the back. So for our first agenda, here was our end user for the fulfillment of this construction projects and engineering will give us the details for this agenda. For the basic the for these projects, I'm sure what contact ID, but this is actually 007. Contact name. Oo. Oo, sabi. Oo, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, rehabilitation or reconstruction or building of damaged paved roads, secondary roads, Masbate Cataingan Road, kilometer 53 plus 23, kilometer 54 plus 00, and another station kilometer 54 plus 785, kilometer 34 plus 881. Contract applications Masbate Cataingan plus 0. Approved by the board of contract of 14,288,893 pesos and 41 centavos. Contract duration of 96 calendar days. And amount of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos. Second project with contract ID 26FJ0078 001 ensure safe and reliable master road system. Network development program, road widening, secondary roads. Expanded Catarasong Paseo Road. The roads is started like the road, kilometer 19 plus 626. So, 91 plus contract location is started Cataingan plus 0. With approved budget for the contract of 21,771,221 pesos and 77 centavos. Contract duration is 131 calendar days. Amount of meeting documents of 25,000 pesos. For the third project, next slide po. With contract ID 26 FJ0029. Contract name is CSSP BIP Multipurpose Buildings or Facilities to Support Services. Construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Tanque, PUP Corpus Masbate, 11.7697725 North, 104.06133 East. Contract location is PUP Corpus Masbate. Full budget for the contract is 4,871,813 pesos and 8 centavos. Contract duration is 90 calendar days. Most of the meeting document is 5,000 pesos. Last fourth project is 26 FJ0030, contract name CSSP multipurpose. CSSP. Hindi mo siya ba Kalau udah saat itu, memang macam kewajiban. Sampai ya harus sebelas. VIP, CSSB supposed to be IT, multi-purpose building, facilities to support services, multi-purpose building, cover court, Cawayan East, Central School, School ID 113537, Barangay Divisoria, Cawayan Masbate. Contract location is Cawayan Masbate. Budget for the contract is 9,769,000 pesos and 77 pounds. Contract duration is 112 calendar days. Amount of bidding documents is 10,000 pesos. That's for some. Quality. So for basic. Ito siya naman online at pwede siya i-ano. For the requirements of bidding documents. For sa ano din? Mga sa bidding slips that kaya po, pwede po yung lang like ano na mga ano ito? Yes, i-download na lang tanan. Okay. I-download na lang yun. Page 45. Ay, nabibigay siya sa PDF number. Ada pigay. Pwede. Page 35. Isn't such big time. Okay. Yeah.
It's the lid.
The arrival of the lady. So more than 6 applications. 37.
Yeah, become.
The required minimum income. The required income license. Size range is small b, size category C and D. Level range of public. This is for DEO and then series of 2024 for the implementation of ISO certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors and the procurement of the construction projects. And the major category of work is RC roads, construction, and safety. The similar categories of works are RRP, roads, rehabilitation, safety, and RCPP, roads, reconstruction, and safety. And this is for the DO 164, straight up given to 75 for the updated guidelines and classification of later similar category working. Then for the minimum work experience requirements for the personnel, project manager with 5 years relevant experience and 5 years relevant experience. Project engineer with 3 years of relevant experience and 3 years relevant experience and also an accredited project engineer based on the overall 169 years of 2025. Dress engineer, 3 years relevant experience and 3 years relevant experience and also an accredited dress engineer based on the 98 years of 2016. Construction foreman, 2 years relevant experience and 2 years relevant experience. Accredited safety officer, report the functions of notice of work subject to department circular number 33, series of 2025, and all important order number 25, series of 35, as well as the first either program. The key personnel should meet the following number of years of work experience. Experience means total years of civil work experience of any feature in construction and engineering consultancy services. And this includes the tax identification number B of the key personnel. Compliance to DO 98 series of 2016 revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors for consultants materials in the including accreditation number and contact number of the leader. For the minimum major equipment requirements, low bed trailer truck, 1 minute, backhoe roller, 48 per 1 minute, motorized grader disqualifier, 1 piece 3 HPV, 710 1 minute, regulatory roller, 10 milligram, 125 HP, SD, PC, 1 minute, dump truck, 12 kilograms, 2 units, payloader, 1.5 millimeter NXA, C, 1 minute, cargo or service or state truck, 2 to 5 minutes and 1 unit, water truck or pump, 16,000 liters, 1 minute, bulldozer, 107 HP, BX, 175, 1 minute, cargo truck, 910, 1 minute, Samsung mixer, 5 millimeter, 4 units, concrete vibrator plus go shop type 2 difference head. Kaya pwede 5 amperes gasoline light unit 2 units. Concrete batch plant 30 millimeter 1 minute. Concrete speed spreader 5.5 HP 1 minute. Concrete saw 40 inch diameter with 4 and 3/4 diameter cutting depth 1 minute. Radiator machine 1 minute. Digging machine 1 minute. Dry seeder machine gas or diesel driven with hot or cold spray handle 1 minute. Bar cutter of 25 mm or diameter 3/4 located 1 minute. The 42 mm or diameter 4 phase 1 minute. Bar bender 25 mm or diameter 3 phase 1 minute. 1 ton mixer 46 minute 1 minute. Plate compactor 5 HP 1 minute. Backhoe wheel 5.37 meter 1 minute. Barangay flasher lights 16 units. Boom truck 137 HP and speed level. DP WH 1 minute. And chainsaw HUS into Barangay 2000 CDB starting 1 minute. The minimum requirement of equipment is based on DEO 11, series of 2017 for the minimum of equipment. Based on DEO 7 series of the compliance of the work order number 8 series of the development. Accordance with the provisions section 63 of the Continuous Regulation IFR of the Public Act of 009 and the Youth Government Procurement Act and other related policies and the news regarding post qualification for this industry. And then only concrete and asphalt mixes with the duly accredited batch plant by DRS shall be used in DPWH projects pursuant to DO for the 5 years of the for the bid security, the bid in the form of a bid security declaration of this one of the following price. So, for 26 FJs, we will be looking at our minimum. Or minimum income license is only like categories again. Again, based on the O and major category of work is RCP. Similar categories of works are RRP and RCP. With the DO was years of it. For the minimum work experience, same with usually shown project 7. For minimum leader equipment requirements, same lang po from previously shown project na this is updated to 27. And then the bid security, still in the form of bid security declaration or use of this one of the value to talaga naman. Ito na ba ito sa pili? Naman. Kasi hindi ko ang bilang ko. Ano, Mabrano. Okay, ito. Ang saya na sa Hindi, dapat pinakabuta ka na inside. Kasi, kasi, dapat na nakapunta. For 26 and 29. The required minimum pickup license is small fleet category CMD. The bigger categories of work is BICWO. BICWO PLC buildings, construction without files, low rise, concrete below 1 and 5 stories. Bigger categories of work are kaya mo siya na so batay ko siya so then BACWPHCCP, BACWPRCBOCs, BICWPLCCP buildings BACWPCDP, BICWPHCDP 16, BACWPLCDP, BACWOPHC, BACWOPHC 16, BACWPNCDP, BACWPNCDP, and BICWOPHC. For the minimum required, for the minimum work period, requirements, same. For the decision projects, And the minimum major equipment requirements are Mako, 48 cubic meter per unit, Lambda, 12 cubic yards per unit, plate compactor 580, 1 unit, one bumper mixer, 40 cubic feet per minute, 1 unit, bar cutter, single phase, 1 unit, bar bender, 3 phase, 1 unit, rolling machine, 300 ampere for 40, 1 unit, cutting out with 1 unit, and craft mounting plate bench to the dependent than 1 unit. Hindi ko agreement based on the 11, ito yung 7,
Kinatawag boxes o related na matching plan. The one for payment so sila.
ang dati ko siya, ako yung sa coaching company.
What's in this because sa tayo? Kaya kung sa mga sinag edit channel.
Ang dati ko pa rin ba?
Mga 26 at na lang. Ano yan? Both ang nag-game or gamer?
Hindi ganun din.
Ay, depende yung
Building, kailangan mo ba? Wala daw?
ano yung kailangan na
Pag-building?
ano yun? Okay. Okay.
Na,
Ba't yung sorry. Eh, pero ba't yung plan 20 likes? Wala. Wala. Wala siyang ba't yung plan sa minimum requirement, no?
Kailangan mo sige. Concrete man.
Gani po talaga.
Amo na lang.
Ang sa minimum, ano, kita daw ang sa iyo minimum requirements at sa equipment. Taas.
Yeah.
Sige, ta.
Oo, adi yun.
Perfect. Ang ba't yung plan, diba?
Ada oh.
Parang,
Ada. Kung wala ba siya? So, kung ulit ang 29.
So for 26 FJ 0030, the required minimum pickup license is small B, this is category C. The major
Mo ito,
category of work is PIDW,
Wala lang.
OELC. Similar categories of works are BAC, WBHCC. The same as 26 FJ 0030, with 4 building of 1 to 5 stories.
Ay, 21 ba sa nito? Ang 29 itong versus
Minimum experience requirements, same for. Minimum major requirement,
Kay dili ganyan.
requirements.
Bilhin sa
Same with 26 FJ 0029. But we believe that only concrete and asphalt mixes produced by newly accredited batch plant by BRS shall be used in DPWH projects pursuant to DEO 2530. And same all these security shall be the properly use security declaration or choose at least one of the 5. Actually.
Ako bang Philippines?
Or all products.
ang gusto mo sa tundo.
May, ayan sa. For the required technical, for the required next is submitted by the leaders. For the technical, first, read and the doc shall contain the following documents, including the eligibility documents. First is the field jobs certification. Giving platinum, quality, section 20 or the IR card. Pick up license and registration, please identify your JB. Statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar nature and complexity in the contract will be. Then the statement of the bidders SLCC in accordance with IDB clause 5.5. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner certificate of acceptance issued by the private owner, other than the contractor, or if a rating of at least satisfactory in the CPS, or a similar performance in monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, equivalent document shall be submitted. Then the NXC's computation in accordance with the activity clause 9.6 is equal to current assets minus current liabilities times 50 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects and the ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started with signing in the procurement project. Then joint venture agreement JVA. Lead security, the prescribed form of amount in accordance with IDB clause 16 and validity period at the IDB clause 15. The project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart of the personnel to be employed for the procurement project to review, the list of contractors personnel, and this is the project manager, engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the procurement project to review with their complete qualifications and experience data. These personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the yes. List of contractors major equipment units which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements for by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor administration of the project, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set the DES. And the omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 54.3 of the IR. Then the disclosure relations and beneficial ownership pursuant to section 81(b)(2) of the IR. Financial proposal, the second bid envelope shall contain the following: financial report, which includes the bid prices, then bill of quantities in accordance with ITB clause 30.1, the detailed bid price analysis with summary sheet for unit prices and rates, then the cash flow by part. For those explanations. Now let's proceed with the criteria and the procedure for the engineering checking. Preliminary examination fees up to the issuance of the next one. Here it is our head of the DPWH to be there to describe these in case. Good morning.
Procedure for the opening and preliminary examination of bids. The box shall open the bids in public immediately after the deadline for submission of bid.
Which para makikita sa
22. Section 22. Opening of sa baba. Section 22.
Section 22. Sige, that's all.
22.1.
Yan.
The box shall open the bids in public immediately after the deadline for submission and receipt of bids specified in the DDL. In case the bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reason, the box shall take custody of the submitted bids and reschedule the opening of bids on the next working day or the soonest possible time through the issuance of the notice of postponement to be posted in the children's website and the website of the procuring entity concerned. For those calculated responsibility, the box shall open the technical and financial proposals on the same day. The bidders or their duly authorized representative may attend the open bids. The box shall ensure the integrity, security, and confidentiality of all submitted bids. To ensure transparency and accuracy of the representations the bid submission, the box secretariat shall notify in writing all bidders bids it has received through mail and experience registered physical address or official email address. The said notice shall be issued within 7 days from the date of the bid opening. Evaluation and comparison of fees. Section 23. Members of the bank, the staff and personnel, secretariat and PWG as well as observers are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of the bids until the issuance of the notice of award, unless otherwise allowed in the case of ITB Clause 24. Verification bids. To assist in the evaluation, comparison, or post-qualification of the bids, the procurement may ask in writing any clear for a clarification of bid. All responses to request for clarification shall be in writing. Any clarification submitted by the bidder that is not in response to the request of the procuring entity shall not be considered. Detailed evaluation and comparison of bids. The procuring entity's evaluation of bids shall be based on the bid price quoted in the bid form, which include the BOQ, the BOQ. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids pursuant to ITB Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated responsibility. The award criteria shall be determined as follows. For lowest calculated bid, the detailed evaluation of the financial component of the bids to establish the correct calculated prices of the bids, and the ranking of the total bids as so calculated from the lowest to highest, where the bid in the lowest shall be identified as the lowest calculated bid. Section 25.5. The bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following: completeness of bids. Unless the BDS allows partial bid, bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the BDS shall be considered non-responsive, and thus automatically disqualified. However, when no price or a zero or a gap is indicated in a required item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. And arithmetical correction. The bank shall consider computational errors and omission to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. May also consider bid correction if expressly allowed in the BDS. Any adjustments shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated spread. Based on the detailed evaluation of bids, those that comply with the above mentioned requirements shall be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for computational error. Discount and other modification to identify the lowest calculated bid. All calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for computational error. Discount and other modifications which exceed the ABC shall not be considered unless otherwise indicated in the media. Post qualification. The box shall determine to satisfaction with whether the bidder that is evaluated as saving submitted the lowest calculated bid. As the case may be compliant to bid, is responsive to all requirements and conditions specified in the ITB Clause 5 and 12. The bidder within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from the receipt of the notice from the bank that it submitted the lowest speculated bid shall submit or eligibility document supporting expedience registration, certificate of registration, platinum membership, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bids and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and is stated in the BBL. Failure to submit any cost qualification requirements in time or a finding against the veracity can disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents will be displayed, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security. The determination can be based upon an examination of the documentary evidence of the bidder's qualification submitted for pursuant to ITB Club 12, as well as other information as the procuring entity deems necessary and appropriate, using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion, which shall be completed within a period of 12 calendar days. If the bank determines that the bidder with lowest calculated bid passes all the criteria for post qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the lowest calculated responsive bid and recommended to the award of the contract to the said bidder at its submitted bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower, or in the case of quality-based evaluation procedure, submitted bid price or its negotiating price, whichever is lower. Section 28. Contract award. Subject to ITB Clause 26, the O or its duly authorized representative shall award the contract to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated responsive bid, as the case may be. Prior to the expiration of the period of bid validity, the procuring entity shall notify the winning bidder in writing that his bid has been accepted through a notice of award duly received by the bidder or its representative personally or by registered mail or electronic. Receipt of which must be confirmed in writing within 2 days by the bidder with the lowest calculated responsibility, as applicable and to be given personally or sent by a registered mail or electronically to the procuring entity. With 10 calendar days from the receipt by the winning bidder of the notice of award, the following conditions should be complied with before the contract may be awarded. Submission of the following documents. Valid joint venture agreement, if applicable. The second, certificate of registration of the foreign corporation, if applicable. Or valid pickup license registration for the type imposed of the foreign bidders when the treaty or international or executive agreement expressly allows submission of such license and registration as a precondition to the notice of award. Posting of performance security in accordance with ITB Clause 30 in signing of the contract as provided in the ITB Clause statement. Section 27. Reservation clause. Notwithstanding the eligibility or qualification of a bidder, and without incurring any liability, the hope or its duly authorized representative at any stage of the procurement reserves the right to review its qualifications, reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding or not award the contract in the following situation. A. The bid has reasonable grounds to believe that a misrepresentation has been made by the said bidder. Or B. If it has reasonable grounds to believe that there has been a change in the bidder's capability to undertake the project from the time it submitted its DPWH. That's all.
University project was engaged with our student conduct of the evaluation cost while application was realized. So let's proceed to our second agenda. Are there any questions or comments from our prospective leaders or from our viewers? No.
Wala. Isa po. Ni Kuya Ronald. Na good morning.
So how about from our other members? Are there any other members needs? The commission needs is like all the investments that exactly impact on the market. For our last agenda, the summary of proceedings, including the issuance of the supplemental or deed goals. May I request for procurement engineer for the supplemental bulletins to be issued.
For Pump ID 26-0027, the contract name. With lacking location, the municipality. Yung walang Cataingan sa ID 27. Ako.
Yung number one.
It's okay. And that's hindi ano.
Wala po.
Or isang mas maganda. Then yung sa going meetings of J0026, the ABC
127.
29. Yung ABC is wala siyang itong decimal ano. Sa baba. Sa amount na ABC words.
ITB. Sa page 12 siguro. Hindi invitation to bid like page 12.
Sa baba.
12. That one. Taas na.
Tapos yun ang itong mag-record mo doon.
Opo, wait lang. Nag-ano.
Nagagamit.
Sige, ibalik mo na lang dito sa pinaka niya. Di ba? Pinakataas niya, tapos ibaba ko na lang. Yun. So, the amount in words in the decimal is 80 centavos per, ito pala is 80.
82. Ano ang words?
Noted na sa or
Kasi dun sa ano?
Batching plan po.
After 39.
Wala po nakalagay.
28 to 28.
With the
29.
So, dali pa rin ito naka-PDF.
Gani ang ginsan pa na ni ate.
Page 45 ang ano. 42, 43 yan. Sa equipment.
Wala.
Wala siya ng butang ng spray.
Yung sa taas, ay ba sa inyo?
Wala. Wala.
Para.
Apo.
Sa zero. Okay.
Oo. Kanina na it's
Sa 30 po ito. Sa 30. Pati 30 ko yung orang VIP. Sa
Corpus?
Opo. Ate po. Dapat may VIP.
Cawayan. VIP.
Hindi ako naging kaya ano ako luwaran. Kaya pagkabuti din may batch yung puso hindi kaya nakapal ang pamilya.
Let's look for our agenda for this activity, Wedding Congress for the 4 projects.
Any comments that we share with prospective vendors?
Wala.
So, yan, she had information from our members, if none, this abilities is adjourned.